I never thought I'd be dragged into a lawsuit over HOA dues, especially by someone who didn't even legally own the land her house was sitting on. But that's exactly what happened. This all started about 2 years ago when I inherited a large piece of land just outside a growing suburban development. My grandfather had owned it for decades. Back when the area was mostly farmland, he signed long-term land leases with a few early developers. They built homes, sold them, but the land underneath, that stayed in our family. Most homeowners never even noticed. Their mortgage paperwork clearly stated structure owned, land leased. They paid a modest annual lease fee and everything ran smoothly. Until Karen moved in. I first met her when she showed up unannounced at my office. No appointment, no call, just barged in like she owned the place. She was mid-50s, short blonde hair, tight smile that screamed fake authority, and a clipboard tucked under her arm like it was a badge of power. "I'm the HOA president," she announced before I could even ask who she was. "No hello, no introduction. I'm here to discuss your delinquent HOA dues." I blinked. "My what?" She sighed loudly, like I was the stupid one. "You own property in Sunset Ridge Estates. You're required to pay HOA dues. You're 3 years behind." That's when the confusion hit me. "I don't live in Sunset Ridge," I said calmly. "I own the land underneath part of it." Her expression froze. Then she laughed. A sharp, condescending laugh. "That's not how property works," she snapped. "My lawyer says the HOA has full authority." I felt a knot form in my stomach. "Who's your lawyer?" I asked. She smirked. "You'll find out when you're served." And with that, she turned on her heel and walked out. Confident, smug, and completely wrong. 2 weeks later, I was officially served. Karen had sued me. The lawsuit claimed I owed $38,000 in unpaid HOA dues, penalties, interest, and administrative fees. According to her filing, my refusal to comply was harming the community. I stared at the papers in disbelief. She wasn't just wrong, she was aggressively wrong. I immediately contacted my attorney, a calm, sharp real estate lawyer who had handled our land leases for years. He skimmed the lawsuit, then slowly leaned back in his chair. "Does she know her house is on leased land?" he asked. "I don't think so," I replied. He smiled. "This is going to be interesting." Karen, meanwhile, went on a full power trip. She started sending certified letters, then emails, then voicemails, each message more aggressive than the last. "You will comply. You don't get special treatment. The HOA will foreclose if necessary." Foreclose? On land she didn't own. She even tried to fine me for unauthorized parking when I visited the property. That's when my anger turned into something else. Determination. We countersued, not for money, for declaratory judgment, to legally establish land ownership and lease rights. Karen didn't back down. In fact, she escalated. She held an emergency HOA meeting and publicly announced that I was a delinquent owner attempting to exploit the community. She named me, pointed me out, told residents I was under investigation. That was her mistake. During discovery, things unraveled fast. We requested HOA records, land deeds, survey maps, original development contracts. Karen delayed, stalled, claimed documents were lost. The judge didn't like that. Finally, she was ordered to produce everything. And when she did, the truth exploded. The original HOA charter explicitly excluded landowners. The lease agreement was recorded with the county. Her own home sat squarely on parcel C-17, my family's land. Worse, she had never paid the land lease fee. Not once, for 7 years. That meant she owed me money. When Karen was deposed, she lost it. "This is ridiculous," she shouted. "I own my house." "Yes," my attorney replied calmly, "but not the land under it." She turned red. "That's impossible." The court reporter stopped typing. The judge warned her to calm down. Karen looked around the room like the walls were closing in. For the first time, the power dynamic shifted, and she knew it. The courtroom was packed. HOA members, curious neighbors, a few local reporters. Karen walked in confident until she saw the survey map projected on the screen. A bright red outline showed her house, on my land. The judge asked her attorney one simple question. "Did your client verify land ownership before filing this suit?" Silence. Karen whispered furiously to her lawyer. The judge sighed. Then came the ruling. The HOA lawsuit was dismissed with prejudice. Karen was ordered to pay all legal fees. She was required to pay back lease fees with interest. But the final blow? The judge ruled that Karen had violated lease terms and gave me the legal right to terminate her land lease. Her face drained of color. She stood up, shaking. "You can't do this," she said. "This is my home." The judge looked at her calmly. You should have read your paperwork. Karen tried to negotiate, apologize, plead, blame her lawyer. Too late. She had 6 months to relocate or renegotiate a new lease, at market rate. She moved out within 3. The HOA voted her out as president. Neighbors stopped defending her. The board issued a formal apology to me. And the land? Still mine. To this day, every time I drive past Sunset Ridge, I think about how close Karen came to destroying her own life, all because she couldn't accept that entitlement doesn't override facts.